What's up, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter. We are back with the 2012 Bridgewater's Finest Awards, and we are down to the last section of the award show. That is the movie awards, and it's arguably the main event of these awards. It's the one that I put the most effort and the most detail into, so we're going to get right into it in this video. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving away 3 awards in this video. We're going to be giving away the award for the movie that I expected more from, the movie that I can't believe I hated, and the movie that I can't believe I loved. These are awards coming back from last year, so let's get right into them now. We're going to start with the I Expected More award, and obviously this is the award given out to the movie that I had high hopes for, and it just didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. In 2012, the I Expected More award goes to Chernobyl Diaries. Now, Chernobyl Diaries is a horror movie set in the Ukraine, which follows 6 tourists and their tour guide as they explore the abandoned city of Pripyat, Ukraine, which was one of the victims of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Now, they become stranded, and they're hunted by both mutant animals and the mutated old inhabitants of Pripyat itself. Now, what I expected from this movie, this is a movie that is an Oren Peli project, and if you are familiar with that name, Oren Peli is responsible for the Paranormal Activity movies. So I expected an Oren Peli project to come out and invoke the same kind of, let's say, like atmospheric reactions that Paranormal Activity has. Like, Paranormal Activity is built very much on atmosphere and hearing little things in the background and very quiet and very low-key. So that's what I was expecting coming into this movie as well. I was expecting the interesting premise that they had to be followed up by an equally interesting execution, and really that goes across all levels of the movie itself, and I expected to feel suspense, I expected to feel chills, and I expected something more than your carbon-copied, cliched horror movie. What I got from this movie was I got the minimalist tension that I was kind of looking for, which you usually get with Oren Peli movies, but what was completely overshadowed by the movie's many, many explicit flaws. You had a movie there where there were really no characters worth investing in and caring about what happens. And again, if you don't have characters that you can invest in and characters that audiences can care about, really they don't have any reason to care what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter what happens on the screen if it's 2 characters that no one really cares about. You had wonky character logic, you had the cliches, you had the pedestrian acting, and just again, a complete lack of audience investment in this movie. It was really disappointing. For all these reasons and more, Chernobyl Diaries is the 2012 winner of the I Expected More award. We're going to continue with some slight negativity, and this is the I Can't Believe I Hated This Movie award. So obviously this is the movie that I was expecting to at least like, and I just ended up with a real sour taste in my mouth after watching the movie. The 2012 I Can't Believe I Hated This Movie award goes to Gone. Now, Gone is a suspense thriller movie set in the state of Oregon, which follows Jill, played by Amanda Seyfried, who is convinced that her sister has been kidnapped by a serial killer, the same serial killer who had kidnapped Jill 2 years prior. Now, she is unaided by the police in her quest, as the police think that her original abduction was all in her head. After her parents died, she had been committed to a mental institution. But Jill sets out all the same to try to follow the clues and find her sister, and in the process, confront her former abductor. What I hoped for. Above all else, I hoped that my absolute love for Amanda Seyfried would kind of whitewash any negativity that, or just movie bullshit that I would see in a movie like this. I didn't exactly expect this to be a good movie, but I expected it to be one that was at least entertaining. And Amanda Seyfried is a huge part of that because me love her very much. I expected to see a well-crafted, at least, and decently executed suspenseful film. I expected it to be silly. Like, I expected it to be kind of like, oh my god, really? We're going here? But I still expected it to at least be executed in a way that was logical. And again, even if the movie wasn't good, I expected it to at least fit together in its own world and make sense for the context of the movie. What I got? A turd. And that was even with an Amanda Seyfried shower scene in the first 5 minutes. I got a movie that had one or two decent lines, but that in general had dialogue that was so painfully bad. Like, there's bad dialogue, and then there's the dialogue you get in Gone. It's just horrendous, just really, really bad. I got a movie that was 80 minutes of tension building, which actually wasn't done too terribly bad. So if you enjoy tension building just for the sake of tension building, then you may enjoy the movie on that level. But it was 80 minutes of building tension towards a climax that was almost wholly unsatisfying. Like, it was just like the worst finish to a sexual encounter that you ever had in your life was like what the end of Gone was. It just, the ending just wasn't satisfying in any way whatsoever. For all these reasons and more, Gone, starring Amanda Seyfried, is the 2012 award winner for I Can't Believe I Hated This Movie. We're going to end off on a high note. I can't believe I loved this movie. Now, obviously, it's the exact opposite of the last award we just gave. This is the award that goes to the movie that I went into it thinking, you know, this could be okay and I could enjoy this, and I just ended up gushing and loving this movie, just gushing all over the movie theater. The 2012 award winner for I Can't Believe I Loved This Movie is The Cabin in the Woods. The Cabin in the Woods is a horror comedy set both in an unknown forest as well as an unknown government control facility, which follows the dual stories of 5 college students on a vacation away from it all and a technical staff that watches and indeed dictates their every single move. The college students are assaulted by a zombified family long dead, but more is afoot and more is at stake than any of them can imagine. What I hoped for. I went into this movie hoping to get a horror movie that didn't fall victim to the old, stupid cliches that absolutely plague the horror genre and make 80% of the horror movies out there almost unwatchable. I hoped to get a few decent scares here and there, which is really easy for me because when I watch movies, I'm a total sissy. My friend Tyler will regale you with the story of how I turned the puppet face kick in Team America World Police into a jump scare. I actually jumped when that happened, and Tyler looked at me and he was like, what are you, an idiot? And yes, so I expected a few decent scares here and there. I expected to see good CGI, good makeup, good costume design, good enough writing. Like, I expected a good movie watching experience, and one that at least moderately kept me interested. So I had my expectations relatively pedestrian. What I got an amazing movie watching experience that kept me interested, invested, and entertained. And that's 3 major hurdles that any filmmaker has to get over: keeping your audience interested, invested in your movie, and entertaining them. And I got all of these things with Cabin in the Woods. I got self-aware, hilarious dialogue, and writing that not only fell victim to, but wholly exploited all those cliches that I hate. And that's fantastic, actually. It's one thing to fall victim to them. It's another thing to take them and go way over the top with them and exploit every single one, and have a concept for your movie that knows where the audience is going and gets there first. You know what I mean? Like, it knows what the audience is looking for and it plays off of what the audience is looking for, and that's what Cabin in the Woods did. I got a movie that not only stands on its own as a horror movie, but stands on its own as a straight comedy movie and as a combination of both. And for all of these reasons and more, The Cabin in the Woods is the 2012 award winner for I Can't Believe I Loved This Movie. So that's all we'll do in this video. We had the I Expected More Award, the I Can't Believe I Hated This Movie Award, and the I Can't Believe I Loved This Movie Award, awarded to Chernobyl Diaries, Gone, and The Cabin in the Woods, respectively. Come back on the next video. We're going to be talking about Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Director of 2012. So I hope you come back and check that out. Check out the rest of the award show videos. We're winding down here. We're getting closer to the end. The final video, I will let you know. I'll spoil the secret here. The final video of the award show is my top 20 best movies of 2012. That's going to be a long video, but it's going to be the one that I'm going to have the most fun doing. That's it for me, Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and this is the 2012 Bridgewater's Finest Awards.